Today we're here at this beautiful red brick townhouse in Ealing, West London, a family home with history, character and a story of transformation. We're Home Inspire, let's crack on with the tour. Now, before the owner bought the property back in 2011, this was actually split into two separate flats. Since then, it's been completely reconfigured back into one single property. Now, before we head on inside, let's take a look at some of the features we can see from the front, because there are a lot of original features that the owner was very keen on keeping, like the windows, which all have the original single glazing. Also, I love that the red brick has been kept. It hasn't been rendered over, which really pops against the white detailing and window frames. Now, what I also love about these Victorian houses is the front porches that really do stand out. And also the original features here have been kept, like the floor tiles and the stained glass on the front door. And on that note, let's head on inside. So before we explore more of this property, I just want to circle back to the fact that in the mid-70s, this property was converted into two separate flats. Now, we think because the front door is original, but the staircase and flooring aren't, there would have been a partition wall put in place here with two access points, one to the ground floor flat and one to the first floor flat. Now, it's really great to see that this reconfiguration and development has been completed from two separate flats to a single dwelling, because especially in London, in this current climate, we don't often see that. So it is refreshing. So back in 2009-2010, when the builder reconfigured this property, he added in a new staircase and a rosewood engineered flooring, which leads us into the kitchen. But before we get to the kitchen, we have a living room, which has a new stone fireplace. Some of the original features in here have also been kept, like the coving and ceiling rose. Also in here and throughout the property, you may notice some Moroccan, Japanese and Indian furnishings, just like this incredible mirror on the fireplace. And these are all inspired by the owner's travels. Now, coming out of the living room, on the right here, we have a spacious WC and utility room. On this wall, we have a stunning circular stained glass window, which actually matches the front entranceway. And then in here, we have the kitchen. So this is actually the original kitchen from when the owner bought the property, and it's an interesting one which I really like because it's got this Art Deco style, which is paired nicely with the other side of the room, which has a very large dining room table that can actually seat up to 10 people, which is ideal because you can rent this property through Airbnb. And this open plan space is great for getting the whole family and friends all under one roof. So now, focusing on the construction work, when the builder decided to reconfigure this property around about 15 years ago, he decided to knock down the external wall that would have been here and push back about 3 meters to create this rear extension, which included these two roof lights above me and these full width bifold doors, which lead us out into the garden. Now, the garden is a wonderful size, even with the 3-meter rear extension. It really does look the part. It's a bit of an oasis. Don't really feel like we're in West London. Also, the current owner was inspired by the previous owner to keep up with the gardening, which is why it looks in such good condition. Now, this property as well and the garden has a lot of history, as it used to be an orchard, and if you look closely to the back, there's actually a pear tree which is over 100 years old. From the garden here, as we look at the rear of the property, right at the top, we can see that box dormer extension, which is a common thing amongst these Victorian townhouses to create more space in the roof. Now, we will be exploring that later, but first, let's head up to the first floor. So here we are on the first floor. Now what's great about these Victorian townhouses is the large bedrooms. At the front of this property, we have 2 double bedrooms. I'm currently in the larger of the 2 that has nice high ceilings. We've got a large bay window, and at the back of the property, we have another 2 double bedrooms. Also on the first floor, you have a family bathroom, but let's head on up to the second floor. So up here is where the loft conversion was completed at the same time as the configuration works. And it's a great example of why so many people do these box dormers. Now on the back wall behind me, you can see where the original roof slope was and how enclosed it would have been if the builders hadn't decided to extend outwards. Now, this box dormer really shows how a space like this can maximize its floor space. An alternative which many people do instead of having this window here is putting in a set of double doors and a Juliet balcony to increase the amount of light that's let into the room, but also to enjoy the evening sun. Another advantage of having a box dormer up here is that instead of having a tight, cramped bathroom, you're able to have a full height shower and a spacious, usable bathroom up here as an ensuite. 2 things the owner has done since living here is installing these 2 roof lights and creating a walk-in wardrobe that's neatly tucked away. Well, what was once 2 separate flats are now converted to a family single dwelling. It's something that we don't see very often, especially in London. We hope you've enjoyed the tour. If you would like to stay here, you can do so by hitting the link in the description. Please do make sure to like, comment and subscribe. We've been Home Inspire. I'll see you on the next one.